Hello and welcome back to biabstands.com. This is video 3. Today we're going to build our bottom and we're going to build our shelf and we're going to rig and jig, and when you get done your shelf's going to look like this. This is the main frame of your stand and this is our goal for the day. Our day is to be at this point at the end of the day. So let's start with a little refresher about the other videos. biabstands.com. The video 1 was about materials and things you need to build the stand, as well as safety. Video 2, we built our top, which is our cornerstone, and we did our legs, which makes our height. Okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to build the bottom, and we're going to rig our bottom, our legs, and our top together. And then when we have that done and we have this all fastened down, we're going to build our shelf. Okay, and this is where our burners are going to sit. Okay, so let's begin by making sure that you go to biabstands.com, go get your workbook, and as you can see, this is video 3, so this is where you need to be at. Okay, and inside video 3 today you have their bottom, how to build it, plus the corner pieces we're going to be talking about, and then also your shelf, and you're going to have your dimensions for both. Okay, and this will be the end of the workbook. See, there's nothing behind this because the next video is about putting the lift system. You're going to build our lift system, and we're going to start putting accessories on, and this will be already yellow. This is going to be safety yellow when we're done. So the next time you'll see this will be safety yellow. I'll probably have the wood already cut out, so my bottom will be filled, my wheels will be on, and my shelf will be on. Okay, and we'll be good to go. And that'll be in video 4. And I'm going to also put an electric pump and my outlet on here, and I'm also going to put my water filter. Okay, so I'm going to have lift, water filter, pump, my shelves built. Okay, and that's what we're going to do in video 4. Video 5 is the most fun. We're going to have a brew day on this stand. Okay, and hopefully you'll join me and be brewing on your stand at the same time. It's going to be a great day. We're going to be I'm thinking about a porter. It's called brown porter called Payback. I really enjoyed that brew, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to go a good deal. Okay, so let's get in with it because we're going to try to make this video a little shorter than the other ones, and hopefully we can stay within about a 15-minute time period. If not, that's good. If you need more, let me know, and I'll make little bitty tidbits or teasers to let you get the rest of this done. So let's talk about the top and bottom. The top was important, if you remember in video 2, because I told you how important layup was. Okay, so we already know the width of our bottom. Okay, we already know the width of our bottom. This right here, this rail right here, front and back. Okay, and we know they're going to be exactly the same. Just make sure that you stack it exactly the same. Okay, and what I mean is if this front piece right here is on top of this piece, then keep it that way. If it's underneath this piece or inside this piece, do it that way. These have to be uniformly stacked. Okay, and as you can see, mine are on the outside on both of them will be on the outside, and we'll have some up cameras so you can see it a lot better. Okay, as we go along. Okay, so the big thing with the bottom is how long we want this. Okay, now everybody has their own preference on this. It's all according to what equipment you want to install on this. On mine, my front is about 5 inches because I like using counterwort chillers. Okay, and on a counterwort chiller I make a little cradle, and you'll see that in video 4. You're going to see 2 little angles made to cradle, and it'll sit right here in the front just like in all the pictures, the counterwort chiller. This one here, I'm also going to put my plate chiller on so you can see how a plate chiller is mounted. I can mount it on the front here, or I can still use my shelf. On this one I'm going to use my shelf. I'm not going to mount on the front, but you can mount on the front if you like. It'll hold the weight. This is really strong material and you're not going to have a problem. Okay, so on my front, it's what I desire. Okay, on the back is the ideal situation is to have this balanced. So if I have 5 inches here, then in the back you might want 3 to 5 inches in the back. The idea is I'm going to put my lift system pole on here, and I want a nice big footprint. So when I swing that weight around, it's going to be laying on this shelf. It's the bottom is going to hold all the way the pot, the burner, and the lift system. Okay, so you want a pretty good size footprint. Now, mine is 5 inches in the front and approximately 4.5 to 5 inches in the back. Okay, I was real particular on the front, not that particular in the back, but I want it to be uniform. Okay, so that's that. Now, there's 2 ways of building the bottom. Okay, you could take your wheels, you can square it up on a table, and we'll show this in the pictures. And we can mount our wheels by clamping the corners of our bottom, okay, and then mount the wheels. The other thing is what you could do is what I showed you here. Okay, so if you look at the picture with this, you're going to see the wheel is mounted, okay, and I got a nice square for my bottom. This is my square, this is my bottom demonstrator. As you can see, this is a red piece. We're going to be talking about that red piece. These are my corner pieces. And here's one of the actual ones I have. Okay, I'll make sure I take a picture of this. But it's approximately 1 inch. Okay? And the idea is it fits on the inside of here with 2 holes. And after I got it squared, I use one of my holes I pre-drill, and then I put this on and I pre-drill this one, and when I match it up, I drill my holes in here, I mark them, and it'll pull it pretty square. It'll be nice and square. What also will keep it square is your wheel. If you put your wheel in when it's square, you keep it clamped, this will square it up and you pick up your wheel holes and you can do it that way. Now, the corner pieces on the bottom is optional, okay? But I do highly recommend it because it gives it a ton of strength. I mean, this thing is great. You're not going to mess it up. On top of that, when you change out a wheel, you're not going to lose. You're not going to have to fight with this to get it squared back up. The corner piece is going to hold it in place. Okay, so it's a pretty good idea to put your corner pieces, okay, on also as just one of your regular parts. But if you don't, that's okay. I'm just telling you some preferences, and I try to give everybody enough preferences for their own so they can build their own stand. Like I keep saying, remember, this is your stand. Okay? So what tools we need today, it's going to be pretty simple. We're not going to need a lot. Of course, we're going to need cutting tools to cut our bottom, okay, our metal pieces. And I still recommend the metal cutter, the handheld one, and a piece of scrap metal, as I showed in video 2. Okay? You're going to need safety equipment, okay, some gloves, some eye protection, okay, a marking device, lots of clamps. We're going to need lots of clamps today, okay? And if your square don't have a bubble leveler, a square, screwdriver for your hardware, and on mine, of course, I need a 7/16 box end for my nuts, and I am going to be using lock nuts. A file to clean your metal. Okay? That's the tools you're going to need because it's going to be just like building your top, except this time you're going to build your bottom. Okay? So that's pretty much the bottom. The bottom is just a longer version of the top. So 2 things to remember. Your width is going to be the same. Okay? And make sure you stack it or place it same. In other words, if the front piece is on the outside, make sure your bottom piece is on the outside. Okay? So outside, outside, inside, inside. Okay? And if you look at the example, you can see what I'm saying. This is my outside. You see it's stacked on the outside of this, and that is on the inside. We'll go through the pictures on that. Okay? So that's our bottom. So once we got our bottom made, now we need to make our shelf. Okay? So we drilled all of our holes and for the bottom, and I got our bottom assembled. I drilled all my holes and I got my top assembled. Now we have to put the top, the legs, and the bottom in place. That's when you're going to need your square, and this is when you're going to need your clamps. Okay, and you're going to need lots of clamps. Okay, so what you're going to do is I'm going to use my leg demonstrator right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your square, and this is my leg, and this is my frame, okay? The bottom of my shelf, okay, and my leg. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to square it. I'm going to put my square on here, someplace that's squared, and I'm going to square it, okay? I want this as straight up and down as I can. Once I get that point, I'm going to drill my hole into my leg, okay? So I'm going to drill my hole, and I'm going to attach my leg. All right? Then after I got all 4 legs in place, not with the top on, just the bottom, okay? Then what I'm going to do is put my top on, so it's going to be reverse. I'm going to put my top pieces on, and of course they're going to be in a corner piece. Okay, so if you look right here on the stand, I've already got my bottom legs and my bottoms in place. Now I need to put on my top. Now this is very, very important because you need to make sure it's level. This is when we start getting real picky about being level. Okay? So what you want to do is you're going to clamp your top. You're going to take your clamp and you're going to clamp your top. Okay? And once you get your top clamped on, you're going to take your bubble leveler, this one or one of these, okay? And we're going to place it on our stand, okay? Let's see if that will stay. Yep. And now we're going to adjust this using our clamps until it's both levels, and these are both level. So my top is nice and level, okay? And it's going to match my bottom, okay? So how I do that, I go to my bottom, see where I'm at here, okay, and it's level. Now I go to my top, okay? And why you want to be picky about levels because of your shelf, okay? Because most likely you're going to use your top to measure down to your shelf. So if this is not level, then your shelf is going to be off, okay? So now we got all our holes drilled in and we got this installed. And we're going to use our hardware, of course, with a little bit of Loctite, okay? And that way we make sure they stay. All right, make sure it's removable Loctite now. And we have this all together. Now we could do our shelf. Now the shelf is really, really important because the shelf right here, our shelf is going to be, has to be level because our burner's going to sit on this, okay? And we want level because we know in homebrew, if you're taking your pot, you're moving it side to side, the water level is going to go side to side, so your readings for how much volume you have in your pot is not going to be accurate. So it's very, very important. Now, to make sure you get a true level, what you want to do is place a stand at a very level spot. Okay, and if you have a table like this that's adjustable, you want this table to be totally level. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to put it up here. Okay, and you want it level. Okay, so that's enough about leveling. So let's talk about actually making the shelf. The shelf itself is pretty simple to make. The one thing is, if you want an adjustable shelf, what you're going to do is you're going to take one end of this. In other words, if this was 24 inches, I'm going to take at least a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch off. Okay, so if I measure from the inside to inside, I'm going to take about a 1/16 of an inch. The reason is you want this shelf that's one piece to slide up and down. Okay, and then on my sides, I'm going to do the same thing. The difference is, the reason is with 1/1/16 or 1/8, if this was in, that gives you enough play to slide this up and down. It literally rests on the hardware. Okay, so you want to make sure this is adjustable. You want to cut it a little short. Okay, and not a lot. Like I said, a 16th to an eighth is all you need. If you do an eighth, think about it. You have a 16th to a 16th gap here. And if you did it by an eighth, I'm sorry, if you did it by an eighth, you're going to have a 16th here. If you did it by a 16th, you only have a 32nd, which is very close tolerant. Same thing goes for the front. So on this side piece here, after you measure from the back of here to here up to the front, the same thing. Okay. So don't get too quick, because this is something you're going to have to sit and play with and make it fit, because each stand is going to be a little different. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and drill 2 holes, okay, and attach the bottom to the sides, okay, and I have mine on the outside, so my sides will carry most of the weight. My sides carry most of the weight, my back does not, okay. So all the weight is here, not here, okay? So it's pulling on all 4 legs versus just the back legs, okay? So I distributed my weight right, and now I need to know where to put this. Where do I want it? Well, what you want to do is measure your burner. And of course, we're using the SP10 Bayou Classic burner. Haven't changed the burner, we got the same burner, and it's, when I measured it, from the bottom of the leg to the top is 12 inches. So, where do I want my shelf? Okay, so what I could do is look, and I told you to make sure your burner goes a little bit above the stand. Okay, and I'll have pictures showing you that. Above the stand. So I determined I want mine about 2 inches to 1 inch above the stand. In other words, it's going to sit, the top of my burner is going to sit above here, right above it, not in it, okay, above it. And so I had to take that in consideration. So I want my shelf to my top approximately 10 inches. All right, now there's one more factor. What am I going to use for my shelving? And of course, I'm going to use 3/4 inch plywood. So I take the 3/4 that I'm going to put in here, because the burner's going to sit on that, and I'm going to take away 10 inches. So I need to have it from here to here, 3/4, take away my 3/4, and I'm going to add that. Okay, it says subtract, it's add. Okay, so since I want 10, right, and I'm going to lift it up 3/4, I have to add 10 3/4. So I want 10 3/4, because once I put my wood on here, it's going to lift it up 3/4. Okay, so that'd be my goal, and I should have about 2 inches above. It's 12 inches total. Okay, so that's my top, that's my bottom. Now I'm getting ready to put my shelf in. So what I do is I make sure all my pieces are level. I put it in here that's level, and I use my clamps. So I clamp my shelf in, okay, and I pick up my first holes. And what I do is put 2 in the back and 2 in the front, okay. That way I have weight distribution here. I have weight distribution on all my legs. Now, I said this is adjustable, right? So what you want to do is measure in from the screw hole in, draw a pencil line, okay? Then every inch, drill a hole. And what you want to do is when you're done, you want to make sure your shelf lines up. Make sure they're level, okay? Now, a trick to that is you can go to Home Depot, and they have a lot of pieces of metal strap with the holes already done. So you could use it as a template, and I have done that. I've literally put my strap on the side where my hardware is, and that way I just measure it. I know how far it's in. I just line it up with the metal, and I can pick up my holes real quick. And what I do is put an inch above, inch below. I normally put 3 holes in mine. Now if I'm going to use a smaller one, because I do like the Blickman burner, which is only 9, I'll go ahead and pick up an extra one on the top, not going down. So this way I can have a 12-inch burner, a 13-inch burner, okay, and then going back up, 11-inch, 10-inch, 9-inch, you see? So that's only 4, okay? So this one right now I haven't drilled the extra holes in, because this is my demonstrator to build the kit. Not the kit, I'm sorry, but for the workbooks and the plans. So I'll probably go ahead and pick up the extra holes, and you'll probably see the extra holes when it's yellow. Okay? So now we got the legs, we got our shelf. I want to talk about one more corner piece. That's for the legs. If you look at my leg demonstrator, you see this red item right here. This is the same corner pieces you use for your front or for your bottom, your front and the back of your bottom. It's the same piece. So it's the same 1-inch piece. Okay, and if you look in your workbook, you'll see this piece right here. This one I do extremely highly recommend you do. If you don't do the corners, at least do these. You only need 4 of these, and you're going to have plenty of scrap. Okay, but what it does, it gives your leg strength to go forward and back. So if you're bumping and you're moving, you got weight, and you got your pot on, your stand won't wiggle. Okay, so now when you get that all together, trust me, this is going to be one. I mean, just you're not going to really mess this up. And that's the whole point. You're going to have a very good, long-lasting, premium brew in the bag or single vessel brew stand. And that's the point of these videos. Okay? So basically, that's it. I've already taught you all the techniques you need. The only thing I would like to go ahead and expand on is drilling. We talked a little bit about drilling, and I had to replace my drill bits. Excuse me 1 minute. I had to replace my drill bits, but here you go. The 1/4 inch, this is the DeWalt titanium Pilot. 1/4 inch is what I use for all my stands, right? Because we're using 1/4 hardware, right? 1/2 inch and 3/4. Okay, so you need 1/4 inch. Mine, after several stands, it's finally got dulled. I could not get the 1/4 inch, so I'm going to let you know it was really hard to get the 1/4 inch. I had to order the whole set. But the good news is it only cost me 19 bucks for the whole set. So what is your backup if you can't get this? You can still get the smaller ones, pretty 3/16. I had no problem getting a 3/16. I could get some other sizes, but I also went back and used my Unibet. Okay, and these are not expensive and they're not that hard to get. Okay, and what I did is I went ahead and used my marker. Okay, I used my marker. I marked my 1/4 inch, and then I drilled into my stand. I put my pilot hole. Then I drilled this to my 1/4 inch. Went on the back side of it and drilled it to clean it up. Okay, Unibits are awesome. Just make sure you keep oil. The main thing about using steel is oil, and don't go extremely high speed. Okay, you have to put low speed until it starts cutting, and make sure you keep constant pressure on it, and it will cut. Now, when it gets all jammed up and don't look like it's cutting, stop. Or if it's chattering, it makes a cheek 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 noise, you need to stop because you're heating it up. Okay, you could burn the tips and it won't drill, or take off pieces off the edges. And even a Unibet, you could do it to a Unibet also. Okay, so keep it oil, keep it cool, and if you get too much metal in the hole, stop, clean it out, put a little bit more oil in it, and drill again. Okay, and once you get it to start drilling, removing metal, that's the pressure you want. Okay, do not get impatient and go high speed and try to push it. You're going to break your drill bit, or you're going to varnish the hole, which will temp the hole and make it actually harden. It will harden the metal and it'll be harder to drill. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay, so next time you see this stand, it'll be yellow, and we've already covered what we're going to do in video 4 and video 5. So believe it or not, that's the end of this video. I try to keep them a little bit shorter. The last couple have been pretty long. So just remember to go to biabstands.com, get your workbook. We're at video number 3. Okay, and download this for free. If you have any questions, go to Facebook. I have a biabstands.com Facebook page for questions, and I've been looking, still nothing there, but I'm looking for questions. I also have on Home Brew Talk, Build Mini Mite, and also my first BIAB Stan. I get a lot of comments normally through Homebrew Talk. Okay, you can also go to biabstans.com where the plans live, and that's where you're going to download this workbooklet. And you can go there and comment and email me there. I do have a business email. You can contact me, and I'll definitely get back as fast as I can. Okay. And there was a question on Homebrew Talk. Yes, it's for real. You don't have to give your name and address on the website. If you, same thing goes for Facebook. If you just personally message me, I will send it to you through email, so you don't have to give any of your information up if you don't want to. Okay? So basically that's it for the video 3. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little quick, but I had to start cutting time down. So let's say it together. Dream, build, and brew. Thank you very much.